Thank you to our patrons for helping make this podcast possible.
Welcome back to Void FM. It's your boys Rav and Kill Bill, the rapper.
That's me.
In the place to be.
Mm-hmm.
Back in full effect.
And the place to be where they hate to see.
What's going on, Bill, man?
Not much, man. I got Tekken 8. So that's a thing. What's going on with you?
Oh, you know, we've been working on the album. We're getting close to finishing one of the stages.
Yeah.
Working on the project. That's exciting. I feel like I say the same shit at the start of each episode. We're like, oh, you've been working on a lot of music. Life is good.
I mean, I feel like that's accurate. That's a pretty accurate portrayal of what's going on in our lives. I just I had to throw them with the Tekken 8. I felt like that was something that was a real important thing.
Yeah.
To talk about, you know. Maybe I'm pussy. But
I think so. You know, yeah, I'm still trying to sell the home as well.
Oh yeah.
A buyer last month or earlier, the start of the month, who dropped out last moment, unfortunately. So
why they do that?
I think they like the house, but they feel iffy about the neighborhood.
Yeah. Well, I think that they're fucked up, and I wish ill upon them.
It's okay. Someone will buy it eventually. Some poor sucker.
Yeah. Some fucking idiot will buy your house.
Piece of shit, dumbass.
Yeah,
no, I mean, it's an awesome place in my opinion.
It looks pretty sick. I mean, look at it. Do the keyboards come with it?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, sick. Sweeten the deal. Yeah, turn them things on. Hell yeah. Dude, if anybody I've never owned a house, but if I did, and then somebody was trying to not buy the house after, like try to pull out at the last minute, I'd be saying, let me sweeten the deal real quick.
Yeah.
Did you try saying that?
Yeah, let me sweeten the deal for you. Let me change the neighborhood real quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me sweeten the deal for you. You look stiff. Do you want a shoulder rub? Yeah.
Yeah, like you're just like whispering in their ear and shit. Yeah, it gets real sensual.
The deal, and I just start playing the keyboard.
Yeah.
Just like locking eyes with them.
Let me sweeten the deal. You just take your shirt off.
Yeah. Start rubbing oil on myself. Yeah.
Let me sweeten the deal. You mind if I oil up?
I turn the lights down a bit. Put on some like sexy lights, some sexy music.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta throw that ass back.
Sometimes you gotta sweeten the deal. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta sweeten the deal a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start sweetening the deal at times when it's not normal to sweeten the deal. Right. We'll figure it out as we
go. Mitch, what's been up with you?
You know, making music. Made some music with Love Sad Kid.
I didn't ask that. I didn't ask all that.
Bye.
I didn't ask all that. Shut the fuck up. Overstepping. This guy, yap. Bill, can you get it?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. As soon as you're just like, hey, man, you just said, hey, what are you up to? And then he gave the hard promo on his new single.
Yeah, Blood unleashed the yappening on us.
Yeah.
Started listing all his friends and all his top 5 MySpace friends and all that. I didn't ask for all that.
He didn't even say Tom.
Yeah, he took Tom off.
Did you have Tom in your top 8?
No.
Why not? Why'd you shun that man?
I don't know, man. I guess I was a hater.
Can we talk about how the whole premise for the top 8 is like insane a little bit?
Oh yeah.
Like the idea of like, these are my 8 closest friends, and these are the people that matter to me, and the rest of y'all don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had like a top 32 or something. Whatever the highest number you could get, I had one of those back in the day.
And it was occupied by all your like secondary accounts.
It was me, my music account, of course, my man Tom, whatever girl I had a crush on that we didn't even talk very much, and my man Greg, who added me. I don't know him. He was like 58. I was like 16 when I had MySpace. Good guy though. Shout out Greg. Yeah, no. And then there was some other
Did you ever have MySpace?
No, I had MSN.
Oh my god, this fucking guy! I didn't ask what you had.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, no,
Mitch, in
MySpace was
post, can
wild.
you edit all of yourself out? I'm joking.
You got it.
Hey,
All right.
you got
All
it.
right. All right. Well, Bill, you had stuff you wanted to talk about this week, right?
Yeah. I had a topic.
Cool. You are now tuning in to Void FM.
4050 feet, why don't you turn around and let's back it into the cable. Okay. Let this turn around to your right. Set him. Forward. Let's just lead him. Alright, let him. Walk around it. Just behind that field if you pick up the main I don't want to go into the spot if I can avoid it. That's right now. Let them get a view from there and I'll see what the field of view looks like.
All right, Bill. So what we got cooking up today?
Okay, I have a question for you. What do you think? And this doesn't have to be contained to a singular story. We can talk about several things. But if you had to choose, what do you think was the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you?
Damn. There's been so many moments.
Like your
that
whole
I don't really
career?
hold on to them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's
Yeah.
hard to be like, here's my top 5 because I don't like sit around thinking about them.
I don't
like
either,
that.
but I did after coming up with the topic. So I have some. So if you want, I could start. And while you're kind of
I got one.
okay.
I got one. You know, one that I have in my mind is like I did a show. I want to say 2010 or 2011 in London at a fancy nightclub, and at some point, just I don't remember what happened. Whether I forgot the lyrics to some, or there was like audio issues with it. Some went wrong. People had a good time. At the end of it, when I was done with the show and I came out, I had a lot of people approaching me, talking to me and everything, and trying to facilitate various kinds of like brand deals and all that. But the show itself, to me, felt incredibly embarrassing.
Oh, yeah.
And not good. And I was like confined to a space where I couldn't move at all, pretty much, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the
that
worst.
Shit was embarrassing. I remember 2 or 3 minutes into my set just being like, I hate this. I just need to get through this. I need to get to the end of this set, which wasn't a very long set anyway, but I remember being incredibly embarrassed and just feeling like a fish out of water. And just also looking around and seeing the kind of people that were at the nightclub made me realize like, damn, this is not my audience.
Yeah.
This is not the people I should be performing for. Like, this is not my tribe, as it were. And I was really in my head. I was also like, yeah, I was definitely very much in my head. So that's one that comes to mind.
Yeah,
about you?
for sure. I have a few. Well, you're talking about a show one, so I'll talk about a show one. Okay, this is actually a recent one. And I wouldn't say this is like actually in my top 5, but just talking about like shows that were like a little weird. So like the first show on my last tour was in Portland. And it was a 21 and up venue. So it was like a little bit smaller than normal. Like we didn't secure like an all ages venue. And the show was great. Like everything was cool. But I did the thing where I performed the same day that I flew. And so like I got there and I was super fucking tired by the end of the night. And so like I was doing a false swipe. And like halfway through, I just completely forgot the words to everything. And I just stopped. And instead of like just moving on, I was like, yo, I'm going to do it again. I can do it again. And then I got to the exact same spot and fucked up again and just stopped the song. And the crowd was small. Like it was like maybe 100 people there or something like that. But it was just like such an insane feeling because like I'd never felt that like I haven't felt that like fight or flight on stage in like years, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like usually when I fuck up, I just kind of like keep going. But it was like I would fuck up and I would like kind of pick back up and then I would fuck up again and I pick back up. And then it was just like, okay, guys, let's just fucking stop it type beat.
Yeah. So the first time where you're like, hey, yo, run that back. We got to do it right.
Yes.
Or like, yeah.
Yes. And then I proceeded to not do it right once again. And the crowd was super, like, it was funny. Like they were like it was just kind of, I just told them, like, I was just like, listen, y'all, I'm jet lagged as fuck. I'm so tired right now. Like I was just out of it. You know what I mean? And they were cool. We got through the rest of the show and it was fine. But like for the next song, I felt it. Like I definitely felt that feeling of like, bro, I want to get off this fucking stage immediately after that. I was so embarrassed. But it was still a good show. People had a good time. But yeah. Shout out that night in Portland for being one of the more embarrassing performances I've ever had.
Yeah. Well, tell me what is in your top 5.
Okay. A lot of these are high school centric. So just know I had an embarrassing high school experience. I had a crush on this girl and we had one of her friends was hanging out one day and she just asked me, like after school, she was like, hey, do you like anyone? I was like maybe like 14 or 15 at this time. And I was just like, no. She's like, oh no, you have to like someone. You have to like someone. And I was just like, okay, yeah, I kind of have a thing for, and I said the girl's name, right? And she goes, oh, you should totally ask her out. And I was like, why? And she said, because I'm pretty sure she likes you too. And I was like, that's weird because we've never really interacted. It was just kind of like, cool, you know? What I didn't think about it much at the time.
Yeah, okay.
And so she said to me the next day, she comes over to me and is like, hey, you should ask her out at the cafeteria, and do it in front of people. And I was like, I don't really want to do that. And then she was just like, no, you should just do it. And she'll think it's cool because like you're brave about it. And I was like, man, okay, that's odd, you know?
Keep going.
And so I walk over to her and I was like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And then she stands up and she's looking at me like, what the fuck? And I'm like, so like, do you want to go out sometime in front of everyone? And then she just goes like, no, and just sits down. And so I look over at the girl. I remember, sorry if my dog is making noise. She does that. Anyway, so I look over at the girl who like set this whole thing up. And then she's like, laughing so hard, like she's like hysterically laughing, and she was kind of like a Mean Girl type, like, you know, like the movie Mean Girls, like she was that. And I never really put 2 and 2 together, like, hey, maybe this could be. I was a very naive kid, you know. I was like, well, why would anyone do that? That's not funny. That's fucked up. So yeah, that was pretty rough. It was bad enough to where like I played football and we went into we were like working out, you know, before practice, and I went in, and as soon as I walked in, like everybody like stopped talking and was just like, dude, are you good?
And that's when your hate for women sort of
yeah. So
your manosphere.
Yeah, exactly. That's when I fell into the Andrew Tate pipeline, you know?
Yeah.
No, but it definitely was not very good for me. But it's weird. At the time, I wasn't like mad at the girl who set it up. At the time, I was just like mortified. Like I never like thought about like, hey, fuck her. You know what I mean? Like that never even like crossed my mind until like years later. I was just like, that's fucked up. You know?
Yeah.
I was more just getting over the fact that I was just publicly rejected in front of like a whole bunch of people, you know, and also was also rejected, you know, on top of that. So yeah, that was pretty rough for me. I feel like that's top 5 worthy, right?
For sure.
Yeah. It's a rough one.
Sure. That is pretty embarrassing. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Okay. So
we got through it.
How am I supposed to fucking match that? Goddamn.
I don't know. Have more embarrassing things happen to you?
Probably. I'm just so oblivious to a lot of it because I don't give a shit a lot of the time, you know?
Yeah. No, me neither. Especially now, I don't give a fuck. But back then, I did.
Yeah. I'm trying to think back to like school maybe or like a martial arts competition or some.
That actually reminds me of something, but go on.
Or a chess tournament. I'm trying to think like what.
That time they found a butt plug in your butt that was vibrating to tell you what chess moves to make. You remember that?
And I still lost.
Yeah, dude, that's
time.
You had a banging ass time.
No, fuck, man. This is tough. This is really tough to think of on the spot.
Yeah, yeah. I've had a little bit more time to think of, kind of compile a little bit of a list. So I'm sorry,
I'm trying to think like maybe some like. The ones that come to mind are like some show experiences here and there, but like there's nothing as bad as the show in London, and that comes to mind.
I mean, if you can't think of any, this could just be like a list of my L's over the years,
Yeah, and if one comes to mind eventually, I could like be like after one of your facts, be like not facts after one from your list. I can be like, oh, actually.
Yeah. I have another one. You said something about a martial arts class or tournament. I have a really funny one that I just thought of. When I was a kid, I took a karate class, and I was in it with my friend Richard, and we were in like first grade. Okay. And like they do like the stretches and all that stuff. We had a lot of stretches that we did. And there was this girl that I kind of had a crush on. Her well, I'm not gonna say her name, but I had a crush on this girl, and she was a year older than me, and she was really cool. She was like one of those like just naturally cool people or whatever. And so I was like, oh yeah, dude. If I take karate when I'm in this karate class with her, she'll see that I'm cool too, So anyway, we were doing the stretches, and I just like ripped a huge fart. I couldn't help it. I was trying really hard to hold it in, and it was a very long, silent room fart. Like I
so long that halfway through the fart, you started weeping and harmonizing with it.
And so like I'm here, and then my friend Richard was over here, and he just goes like, dude, like that, And then I look over, mortified, and I see that the girl that I had a crush on was like sitting right next to me, and she just goes, ew, and like walks away and moves to another spot.
Oh boy.
Like you can't make this shit up, bro. And I was trying so hard not to fart, bro. It was so difficult. And it was like, I think it was because I was fighting it that it was worse. I didn't just like let it all come out. It was just this very slow burn, very embarrassing fart.
Yeah. I love fart stories, so I appreciate that one, Bill.
I know. I told that one just for you.
Fuck. Embarrassing story. I know I have a bunch. Oh, no. I can't think of one that really feels particularly awkward just yet. I'll keep thinking. Why don't you tell us another one in the meantime?
Okay. I don't know if I've ever told this story on the old podcast or not. But this one is a pretty wild one. You know how like people can run for like student body president or whatever? Like they have like the elections at the end of the year in high school.
I was the student body president at 2 of my schools.
Oh, look at you. Look at you. Yeah, not me. But I was there. I was certainly there. So there was this girl that I knew who knew that I rapped in high school. It was weird because like a lot of my friends thought it was like really cool that I rapped, and then a lot of my friends thought it was like cheesy and weird. So it was a mixed bag reception, But she was one of the people that thought it was really fucking cool, and she knew that it was basically just a popularity contest and that she was going to win. So she thought instead of doing a speech that she would get me and my friend to perform a song instead in front of everyone. Okay. We had just put out this song called We Do It Bigger. I played it on stream the other day.
We do it bigger though.
Yeah. It was a very different era for me. Okay. Anyway, my friend, he sang on the song, and we had just gotten auto-tune, like just a crack of like Antares auto-tune back in the day. Everybody called it the T-Pain effect back then because no one like used auto-tune except for T-Pain at the time, at least that we knew of. And so we did that, and she was like, okay, cool. They're going to give you 2 wireless mics, And I was like, bet, that's crazy. Wireless mics, you know? And it was in like the gymnasium, and it was like the entire school was there. My mom was there because my mom worked at the school. There was like children there because there was like a class came to like see it. I don't remember why. It was almost on some like field trip shit, but it was just to like, it was like a younger class came to see it. It was a lot. It was a lot of people there. Like there was like over 400 or 500 people there. So we'd come out and I did 2 songs, and the first song, it was just me rapping. And then my friend was like hype manning. And then the second song was the song with my friend, and my friend was on the hook. And I asked him, I was like, hey, there's like auto-tune parts on here. Do you want me to just leave those vocals in and you just sing over them? Or do you want to just sing it? And he was just like, dude, I'm a real singer. I don't need auto-tune. You don't need. And I was like, I wasn't saying that. I was like, do you just want the hook in the background, basically? And he was like, well, you know what? I'm a real singer and I don't need that. And I was just like, okay, cool, whatever, dude. And so I took the vocals out. And so like, it gets to that part, and I have a mic, he has a mic. He does like the first like few bars of his hook. Meanwhile, I left something out. There's really bad feedback from the mics because there was no one running sound really. Like it was not a concert. It was like they were like people there to do a speech, you know? Like, so I come in there and we got the music going, and like it goes to him. He sings like a few bars of the hook and then like stops. And I'll look over, like I'm like in a panic. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And he's doing this thing with his mic where he's like, you know, and I'm like, oh, his mic's not working. So I take my mic and I throw it to him because I assume that's what's happening. I did not know that he forgot the words and was like frozen. Okay. And
he was playing it off quite well, actually, pretending that his mic died. That's a pretty smart thing to do.
Exactly. But I guess it worked a little too well because I thought that he needed a working microphone. So I threw him my mic and he grabbed it, and then immediately both mics like connect, and then there's just like the worst feedback you've ever heard in your life. Okay. And he just drops both mics. Okay. I run over and pick one mic up. So it's like clear, like, okay, like now everyone knows that the mic was working the whole time. That's kind of where we're at right now. All right. This is all happening in like slow motion. Okay. So then like I pick up the mic, he picks up his mic, and I just do my second verse. And so then like I can feel like the hook is coming again. And I look over at him and he's just like, yeah, I got this, you know? So anyway, he goes to do it and just freezes again, like immediately, like no sound comes out of him. He was just like, the first bar of the hook is him going like, Trick, I'm the man, right? And he just goes like, Trick, and then just frozen, okay? And I'm like, damn, this is bad. This is real bad. But it got worse because I walk over to him to kind of like, and I'm kind of like still moving around and like I'm like trying to like let people know like it's all good. We're having a good time. I'm trying to kind of like save the moment, you know? And he just like gets super frustrated, throws the mic down, but before throwing the mic down goes, shit, fuck, like really loud into the mic. In front of like the fucking principal was there, dude. Like everyone. My mom, I look over and see my mom. My mom's like it was crazy. Okay. Then he just storms the fuck off, right? He just leaves. He's just like, I'm done, you know? So he leaves. I pick up the mic and it's just me standing there with no music and a bunch of feedback going. And I'm just like, well, due to technical difficulties, we're going to be getting off the stage now. Thank you guys. And I just like walk off and people laughed. Like it was like cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I kind of like brought it together at the end, like, I wasn't just like, sorry, you know what I mean? Like I did kind of make it into a joke at the end. So I leave and like, it's completely silent. Like, it's like I'm leaving and everyone giggles and then I'm leaving and it's just like, you can hear like footsteps. You could hear a pin drop. It was so fucking weird, dude. Like I've never felt that energy in my life. Like it's like if you took like every awkward thing you've ever felt in your life and just threw it into a blender and just like down to that shit. Like that's what it felt like. And so I leave, I go outside, I see my friend, and my friend is like getting in his car. Like he's just going to leave school. Like he's just like, fuck this. My mom goes after me and him. And my mom, like he was like a second son to her. You know what I mean? And so like she stops him and is just like, hey, you can't just like fucking leave, dude. Like you can't just leave school. Like that's, as embarrassing as it is, like you got to stay. And so so I'm walking there and there was another song basically that I performed called Get Your Mind Right. So like I'm walking him back to like his locker. And then I was like, yeah, dude, like it wasn't even that bad. Like most people thought it was like just kind of funny. And like, I would just play it off, And then as soon as I said that, a kid came up to him and was just like, hey, I'm not going to say his name. I was like, hey, buddy, get your mind right, And it was like really bad. It was really bad. And like, I know it was more embarrassing for him, but it was like my thing. You know what I mean? Still to this day, that is like the craziest shit I've ever experienced in like a performing kind of way. Like it was like the worst case scenario in terms of the reception and how it was handled.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a crazy time. Crazy time. We've come a long way.
I have an embarrassing story from high school. I think I might have told it before. I had a homie come over to my crib. He was like, yo, we should make a song about this kid, in our school, right?
Yeah.
He was just annoying. That's it. And we're like, all right, sure, whatever, right? And we record the song, and it's kind of R&B-ish. I like sing about fucking this dude's mom.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing's changed. And then I brought the song to school on a USB, and I dropped it on the desktop of a computer. And all the computers in the school, the way they work, that whatever you put on one computer ends up on all of the computers' desktops.
Oh, no.
I did that on purpose. And I was like, just talking about fucking this dude's mom and all
Hell yeah. Hell
and
yeah.
the embarrassing part isn't that, because I thought that was funny. The embarrassing part was that same night, I have people come over, I throw a party, I get really fucking drunk. I don't get any sleep. Feeling really discombobulated in the morning, heading to school with some of the people that partied with me at my crib and stayed at my crib. And we go, and the kid whose mom I disrespected on the song, sucker punches me, rolls up on the bike behind me, sucker punches
What?
me, and then starts stomping me, he jumps me, and then a homie jumps in and kicks him away, and he jumps on the bike and skedaddles.
Yeah.
But in that brief exchange, he manages like to stomp my face a few times against the concrete. And so like I have a busted ass lip. So I'm like feeling pretty embarrassed to turn up to class with a busted ass lip. I'm like, whatever. Like I'm like thinking to myself, like, yeah, like this is part of the risk of doing the shit I do,
Yeah,
And
for
then
sure.
I get pulled out of class by secretary, who, like, the two secretaries at our school were very involved. They were kind of like the principal's arms. She was like, Rav, outside now. I'm like, oh man, what's going on now? And they suspend me for a week because the kid who jumped me came to them. He was so scared, I guess, that I was going to snitch on him, that he snitched on himself. He said we had a fight, that I put a song on the computer dissing his mom, and then we had a fight. I was never going to mention it because I was embarrassed to get jumped. He got expelled. He stayed at that school for a week while I was suspended. And when I came back, they expelled him. Like, he did that to himself. But I was very embarrassed that happened to him. And I was suspended. And I remember sitting in the secretary room, and she's just like, she's typing, doing her stuff. And she keeps looking over at me every now and then like, you know, it's a real shame what you did, Rav. And it's like, because clearly you have talent. The song was so good and catchy. She said the song was catchy, but why did it have to be so, you know, vile? You know?
Man. Yeah.
And I remember just thinking to myself, yo, she fuck with the joint. Let's go.
Hell yeah. So, she said, I'm really disappointed because like you make bangers, but we could make bangers about positive
like a compliment.
things.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But being suspended for getting jumped was super embarrassing because it's just like, man, that's rubbing salt in the wound.
For sure. Yeah, no. I still never understood that, like the whole like idea of like, cause like I never got into fights in high school, you know, but it's like the idea of like you get punched and then like if you don't punch them back, then it's like you're basically going to be set up for a suspension either way, right? Like whether
I was
you
going to beat his ass if he gave me time. It was going to be a bigger fight, but he had a bike, I didn't, so he dipped. But even then, after that, I was just like, all right, it is what it is. I'm not like gonna escalate it. It was embarrassing. I don't want people to know I just got my ass beat. Like I already have a busted lip. I'm a little black and blue on my face, right? But
yeah,
I'm taking it in stride because I'm embarrassed to have gotten jumped. So I'm trying to play it off like, whatever. I got, you know, he sucker punched me. He punched me on the temple, coming off a bike from the back. You know, like, that's not a fight. So I was maybe part of it was cope, you know, but it was kind of like, that's not a fight. I've been in a lot of fights up to that point, and that was not a fight. I was definitely just feeling some type of way that he walked away unscathed, and I was busted up. And I remember they told me, they suspended me and forced me to go to a hospital and update them. And I went to the hospital. I waited for like 4 to 6 hours in line. And the doctor was just like, you have a fucked up lip. You probably have a concussion. Probably got a couple broken ribs. Not much you can do. Just go home, eat pizza, take some painkillers, and just don't do too much shit.
Yeah.
I was like, where? Okay. I waited 4 to 6 hours in line for this. I was going to do that anyway. But okay, at least now I know, you know, that I did everything I could. But yeah, that was embarrassing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like in retrospect, I feel like that's like not that embarrassing. Like I feel like it's like if you were to explain that to someone, like no one's gonna be like, oh, what an idiot. You know what I mean? I think it's like, oh yeah, you got jumped. But yeah, at the time, I feel like it definitely would have been embarrassing.
Yeah, for sure.
I have one that is embarrassing. So one day I'm wanting to say I was in like 10th grade, something like that. And at this point, I was in it was like the middle of the day. And I was in like anatomy class or something. I can't remember, biology, something like that. You know, something sciencey. And I guess it would have been anatomy or biology because at the time we were dissecting pigs. Little pig fetuses, which is pretty gross, and I hate the smell of formaldehyde, so that was something I had to deal with. But at the end of the class, me and some friends were like doing some kind of like dumbass dance. Like we were doing this dance that involved us like squatting down. Like it was like we were making like just like a joke or something. And I did that, and then I ripped my pants like from my crotch all the way down to my knee on one side. Like it was like completely like demolished my pants. I don't know what happened, like how I ripped them that bad, that quickly, but it was like straight up, like just out, you know what I mean? Like everything was like boom, you know, and
balls dangling.
Yeah, if I wasn't wearing boxers, it would have been full on bald angle, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember like my mom worked at the office there, and I was embarrassed because like I had to walk, and I was like just hiding like my shit basically the whole time. And like I'm like doubled over kind of. I didn't want to like people to see it. For some reason, like in retrospect, I would have been like, yeah, dude, I ripped my pants. Haha, like that would have been like funny.
Yeah.
But I was just like mortified. Like I was like, oh man, like I can't let him see me like this. And so like my mom was like a secretary there, and there was like in the main office, there was like a little closet where they kept all their like bookkeeping stuff, and students were not allowed in there. But I was just like, yo, I'm going in that closet and I'm just going to like stay in here until like I can get pants, you know? And my dad, he had the day off work. And so he was just like, my mom just called him, was like, yo, you know, bring Bill some pants, because he ripped his pants, you know? And so like I was lucky that like he came, and so I'm just chilling in there when I'm supposed to be in class. I didn't tell nobody either, by the way. I just like left, you know? So my teacher's probably like, where the fuck is he? You know? And I'm just chilling in this closet that I'm not supposed to be in. And so like, and I'm like kind of like still like worried somebody's going to come in, you know? Cause like people use this closet, you know? And lo and behold, like my psychology teacher just like opens the door, and I'm just standing there with my pants all ripped. And I was like, I ripped my pants. It was like the most like...
That's amazing.
Like, because I didn't want to get in trouble for being in there, because my mom was just like, don't go in there. I was like, fuck you, I'm going in there. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to like just hang out in the bathroom because I was afraid somebody would see me and be like, dude, why are you in here? You know what I mean? Or like, because people cut class all the time and would go in the bathroom, so people would be looking, and I just didn't want no trouble. Yeah, right. So she walks in, I ripped my pants like immediately. Yeah. And then she just like shut the door, and yeah, so that was a little bit of a little embarrassing moment. Yeah, you know.
I have another embarrassing story. One of the schools that I went to, a different one, I got expelled from it for getting involved in a illegal activity, and in the process of them like trying to figure out everyone who was part of this. I don't want to call it operation because it makes it sound more official. Like, this event that took place that I don't want to talk about in great detail, they tried to put pressure on a couple of people that weren't involved. And not only did it cause a rift between me and like 90% of my friends, but it also just like, just a bad look. There was two people in particular that they tried to put pressure on. One that was like a friend of mine. So I could kind of see why they thought like maybe he was a part of it, just because the proximity. And another kid that this principal and whoever the secondary principal was, they just hated this fucking kid and were trying to find any excuse to kick him out for the longest minute. And the former, they said to him like, yeah, he told us you were involved. The shit they were doing when they were questioning us was fucked up.
It's like entrapment type shit, like saying like, oh, yeah, like we know, like, yeah.
Like bad cop and bad cop. I remember them cursing and everything, which was like a trip for me, you know, because you're like a kid and you're like, damn.
That's crazy.
And these adults are cursing at you. So they told him that, and he was crying, and he threw me under the bridge completely after that, right? Because he thought I threw him under the bridge when he wasn't involved at all. And they said, yeah, we're gonna kick you out. They didn't end up expelling him at all. They expelled me, right? He didn't even get a suspension. But it was a pretty, like, I guess, traumatic event for him, for someone who wasn't involved in any shit like that. He ended up, like, apparently crying on the stairs at school, and all my friends, like, gathering around what happened, and him telling, like, yo, he said I was part of this. He's trying to rope me in. I wasn't even involved. And they're like, damn, that's fucked up. And none of them ever talked to me again. All right.
Damn.
So
that sucks.
Fuck. That just like fuck that. Both of those like dudes, the professor, the principal, and the secondary like vice principal or whatever. Fuck them both. And another person that they involved, the one had nothing to do with it and wasn't even really close friends with me. I don't know how they managed to do it, but they apparently expelled him shortly after.
Crazy. That's
I don't know
so
how.
crazy.
He had nothing to do with any of it.
Do you feel like they were looking for a reason to expel him for some reason?
For sure. They were looking for a reason to expel him, but I have no idea how they could. You still need to find some sort of evidence or something. So I wonder if they searched him and found drugs, because he was definitely someone who kept drugs on him, you know? So I wonder if they used apprehending me as an excuse to search him. And I also never spoke with him since. So I wonder if there's some sort of resentment there, you know, like, damn, he got me expelled because I was apparently the catalyst there in that moment. But again, his name never came out my mouth. Like, neither one of those people were involved. I try to make sure right from the jump that, like, no one was going to get incriminated. But the tactics they employed was crazy, especially on kids, you know? And so, yeah, that's one of the most embarrassing moments for me, because it felt like one day, all it took is just one day to get excommunicated from a whole circle of people and get painted into this like awful corner. And then when I got expelled, you know, they had a whole like student like school town hall where they gathered everybody and talked about expelling me and like all the shit that I did
sucks.
and like why they expelled me and everything, and trying to make an example out of me. And thinking about it at the time definitely was super embarrassing. Just like, God damn.
Yeah, dude, I wouldn't even describe this as embarrassing. It sounds like traumatic, bro. Like, this is like the worst. It's like, it's not like oh, look at me, dude, that fucking sucks. It's like a life-altering event. You're just like, I'm just like, yeah, I ripped my pants. You're like, yeah, dude, I got expelled and all my friends hated me and they had a town hall about how piece of shit I was.
But at the time, I guess it's like, for me, like, there was a lot of embarrassment that came with it, you know?
No,
Also
for sure. It is, but it's also like, I know this story, you know, we've talked about this story a bunch of times over the years. And it's like, to me, it's just like fucking wild that it was escalated. Cause like, I know the full context and I know that it's like kind of ridiculous. Like the whole thing.
It's out of control. And I think for a while they were just looking for a reason to expel me too, you know? Because I always had a mouth on me, I guess, you know? And the principal was like a narcissist. And he had like a huge ego. And he always wanted to have the last word, but so did I, you know? And I think he felt some type of way about that. I don't know. But also, like, you know, I think they could have suspended me for the shit I did. I think they could have suspended me for a few weeks. I think they could have put me into some sort of program or some shit, you know, for me to make up on what I did. They didn't have to expel me. Also threaten, like, we'll make sure you'll never go to any other school in this town. Any school you apply to, we will contact them and let them know what you did. Like, yeah, they try to get the cops involved and everything. I was like, expelling me was basically one of the only ways they agreed to not get the cops involved.
That's crazy. That's so crazy.
It was super embarrassing because that ended up transforming my family's life as well. My little brother and little sister kind of felt the ramifications of that, you know? That's the embarrassment was like all encompassing, and it felt like I fucked up in a way that, like, oh man, I fucked up in a way that I could never make up for it. And it's bullshit because I'm but at the time, dude, like, I mean, like, I remember feeling that way about like failing a test or something. Like, I was never like given that sort of adversity of like, oh, I did something that is like life altering. Yeah. Regardless of if it's like really that big of a deal. Yeah. Like, really? Because like now I'm just like, okay, yeah, like it's kind of dumb. But like at the time, like if I was a kid, like I'd be like, oh shit, like this is so crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm sorry that happened to you. That shit sucks. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. I'll try to think of the next story to be, I guess, like a little less traumatic. Yeah, let's. I was gonna think like, you want to hear this time that I got someone killed? Just like the next one being like, how do I up that? Let me see. I got. I have a few just off the rip. Because I don't know, I feel like I live an awkward life. I'm a very awkward guy from time to time. Like, not that I'm awkward, but I find myself in awkward positions a lot. Gotcha. Oh, I got one. This one isn't necessarily, I would say, like embarrassing. It's just funny, but it is like kind of an embarrassing position. So in 2016, Rekadam invited me, as well as Square, to perform at MagFest. Okay. At the time, like he wasn't paying me or anything. It was just like, hey, if you want to come out. And I was just like, hell yeah, that would be so cool. Cause I'd never met him. I'd never met Square, you know, like it was just such a cool idea.
And so me and my friend Brantley decide to go drive all the way to DC from...
You did meet Roger at that point. You hadn't met Square, but you had met Roger half a year prior when he came to visit us in South Carolina.
That's right.
After I saw him in Philly. But yeah.
That's right. But I wanted to perform with him, basically.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah, thanks for that. I forgot. So Roger, there's a bit of a setup here, but basically we were driving 7-8 hours, something like that. And at the time I was trying to get a job. Right. And I stopped smoking weed so I could get this job. And I had not smoked weed for like 2 months.
So if they drug tested you, you'd be okay.
Yes.
You'd be okay.
Yes. So I didn't want to get popped on a drug test. And so the day we were leaving, I got an email from them that said I did not get the job. So I was like, I'm going to get high as fuck tonight when we get to Maryland, right? So, or Virginia, I can't remember, whichever side it's on. And so we drive like 7-8 hours, and my friend had packed like a whole bunch of weed. Like he just had like blunts rolled already, right? Mm-hmm. And so we get there, and I was told that, okay, so they give the performers the official performers a room to sleep in, and they usually will like pair you with like another performer, basically. Mm-hmm. So it's like one performer gets a bed, another performer gets a bed, but you have to split a room with somebody because it was like, it was at this place. It was called the Gaylord Hotel. Funny name. But so
they named it after you.
They named it after me, dude. Yeah.
You came in like, whoa, what a big honor.
So anyway, so we're at this Gaylord Hotel. We get to the parking garage, and then me and my friend smoke a really fat backwood, and I am destroyed. Okay. Yeah. So Rekadam had a room that they assigned him. However, he was staying at a different hotel with some friends, and he said that me and Brantley could split that room with whoever is in there with him. I do not know these people, by the way. Okay. I don't think Roger knew these people. All right. But Roger was not, it was a hectic time. So he wasn't the best at communicating. So I thought that they knew him, you know? So we're high as balls. And I'm so high that like I get nervous about like, oh shit, what are these people like? Are they going to be cool that I'm high? Are they going to be cool? Like I was all in my head about like just bullshit, basically. So I'm walking up. We get there, by the way, it's like 3 a.m. Okay. And we knock on the door. I had a key that they gave me, but like, I didn't want to just like walk in, you know? So I knock on the door and they are not answering. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to just walk in. What if they're asleep? Right. You know, I just like and I'm high as shit, bro. Mm-hmm. So I knock on the door again, and then they open the door and it's a dude. And the dude is like, who are you? Yeah, and I'm like, my name's Bill. This is my friend Brantley. I'm here for the Rekadam. Rekadam. Like we're with Rekadam and we're performing. And I kept saying the word Rekadam over and over because I'm like fucking having a panic attack because I'm talking to this fucking stranger, you know. And then he goes like, "Oh, cool. So you're staying here?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Well, we thought that nobody was staying here, and so we gave our bed to someone else, the extra bed." And I was like, cool. That's where we're supposed to be staying, you know? And then he was just like, oh, well, like it's me and my girlfriend in this one bed. So like the other girl can like just sleep in. They knew the girl, right? The other girl can just sleep in this bed and then you guys can share that bed. And I was just like, okay, cool. I'm just trying to get through it, right? And so then like we get in. It's kind of awkward. I'm just like, sorry, guys. Like, I should have just been like, I'm high. Like, the part of me felt like I needed to tell them that, but I never did. But I'm just like walking around like a bumbling idiot, like just trying to get to my fucking bed, you know? Mm-hmm. And so, like, we had to be up at like 9 a.m. because we had sound check. And so I was just like, I didn't think about it. They turned the lights out. They were like, okay, it's time for bed. Type beat. They turned the lights out. And then I realized like, oh shit, my phone is about to die. And like, I need to plug it in. But my charger's like in my fucking bag, like deep in my bag. And it's really dark. Right. And so then like, I turn over to Brantley because we're sharing this bed together. I was like, hey, man, can I borrow your phone charger? And he goes like, I left it in the car. And I'm like, fuck, I got to get it out of my bag. What a normal, sane, not completely blowed out of their mind person would do is go, hey, guys, I'm sorry that the lights are out right now, but I need to get my phone charger. But I didn't want to inconvenience anyone. And I'm overthinking it because I'm high. So I'm like rustling around in my bag in the pitch black dark. And you can just see like, you know? And apparently it was bad enough to where the guy's after like 3 minutes of this happening and me failing to find it, he just goes like, what's with all the rustling? And I was like, can you turn the light on? I'm trying to find my phone charger. And he turns the light on and I find it. And I was like, sorry about that. And he just goes like, yeah. And then just turns the light back off.
That's beautiful.
And so the next day I wake up and they're gone. Like they're just completely gone. And I'm just like, oh shit. Like, I feel like we made like a weird impression, you know? And then like, I look over at Brantley and I was just like, hey man, was last night weird? He was like, yeah, like that whole thing was really weird. And so then we leave and then we come back and they're chilling in there. And then I just was like, hey, I'm sober now. So I can tell you this. I was like high as balls last night. I'm sorry. Like if I was acting weird. And they were like, oh no, we were high too. And I was just like, oh, okay, good. So it wasn't that big of a deal, but I did feel like I felt like a weirdo for like 3 seconds there, you know? So that was a
beautiful.
Good time.
That's a wonderful
good time. Yeah.
I have a similar one. Also to do with Roger. It was in Philly, 2014. I went to support Roger. Like I went to one of his shows and I was going to support him, not as an artist, just as a friend. I thought I was going to be staying in a hotel with him. And last minute, he told me like, oh, actually, you're going to be staying with my friend's friend. And I arrived there like in the middle of the night, dead in the middle of the night. I had to ring the door, be like, hi, I'm friends. Same as you, like Rekadam, Roger's friend, you know, Roger. Yeah, he told me I'll be staying here. And I ended up sleeping on the fucking blown up mattress with like no pillow, no blanket, nothing, you know.
That sucks.
It sucked and it was cold, you know, it was cold. But whatever, that wasn't the embarrassing part, although that was just more frustrating than anything. The embarrassing part was on the day of the show. It was at this venue in Philly that is a church that was transformed into a venue. And I go into the green room. And at the time, the green room was like, I guess, the kitchen, the former kitchen of that place. And I go in there because that's what Roger puts me in. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to go do the sound check, set up my drums, etc. And so I'm sitting there and a lady comes in and she's the organizer of the event. And she's like, who the fuck are you? I'm like, oh, my name is Rav. I'm Roger's friend. I'm here with Roger. She's like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, he told me he added me as like his guest, his VIP. And she's like, you're not on the list. Get the fuck out of here. And so I was kicked out. And then like, I just kind of, I was in the hallway and just waiting for the show to start. And I remember just being like pretty embarrassed by that and feeling like, man, fuck all these people in here, man. One day I'm going to be back here and it's going to be my show or whatever, you know? Funny thing, 8 years later, you and I and EXO performed at that very same venue. We sold the place out. That was the place where the green room was like the church spot upstairs.
Yeah. I remember that was a Unitarian church, right? Mm-hmm. Great show. The staff there was pretty cool too. They must have rotated out because they were really nice. Because
the staff before wasn't the staff from this venue. It was like the staff for the event specifically.
Oh yeah.
So, but I remember I didn't know that it was going to be the same venue until we got there the day of. I remember I'm like, wait a minute, this is familiar.
I didn't know that was the same place.
Analyzing and going around and checking, like, wait. If I turn here, will there be like a set of stairs that leads to the bathroom? Once I confirmed that for myself, I was like, this is like in a movie. Like it happened. Like it manifested what I wanted, like my revenge through my victory. I mean, the other person that was mad at me or did me dirty, she doesn't know. But for me, it was like an internal victory.
What if she was just looking at like they have like the local paper that's just kind of like, oh, like this is happening in town, and then she saw the name Rav on the thing, and then she was just like, wait a minute, that's the guy that I kicked out of the green room 8 years ago to this day.
And they had a bunch of artists on that lineup at their event, and I don't think they had even half as many people as we did attend. So it felt like a real victory, a big
victory. For sure. That was a really good show. I like that show. It was hot as really fuck in there though.
But, getting kicked out of the kitchen, especially in the way that it transpired, like as rude as it was, where it was like almost unbelievable that it was that rude, because I'm just like, I can't imagine talking like that to a person you don't know.
That's crazy. I mean, I think about that a lot, like people who are just like super duper mean to people or short with people, because it's like with me, I'm like very actively like, I want people to have a good experience when talking to me, even if I don't know them. And even if they're rude to me, like I'll continue trying to be like, until a certain threshold is met, like I'll be like, okay, you know what I mean? I couldn't imagine just walking around be like, get the fuck out of here, to like just strangers.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing. She was also like very cold in her delivery. She's like, oh, no. Get the fuck out of here. Like, get the fuck out of here. It wasn't even like she would turn up. I think what hurt even more was like the coldness of the approach. We're just like, oh, like this piece of furniture is not supposed to be here. Yeah. Throw it out type beat.
I was thinking about this too, and I feel like this is a good segue here, talking about the Unitarian church show. What do you think is like the wildest thing that's happened to you or happened at a Rav or EXO show or Bill show if you were there?
I think you have more interesting stories than me on this front, because I don't have too many wild things happen. I mean, like, it's just like funny little moments.
I mean, I feel like when I say wild, I don't mean like, oh man, like they drank a bunch of alcohol, or I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
they
people
partied
on
so
stage, being drunk, or shit like that. It's just overhearing certain little things. Like, I sipped from a bottle of water at one of my shows and left it somewhere. Then I overheard this person like, I got this bottle. Rav drank from this bottle. It's got it's got his DNA on it.
Hell yeah, they can clone you now, finally.
Yeah, and they're like, and I like, oh, so if I drink from it, it's like we're kissing or whatever. So it's just funny things. It's nothing that's like really wild or out of control. I think at the meet and greets, like I find out about certain circumstances leading up to people arriving at the show or shit that happened at the show. One kid who flew all the way from France to one of my shows on the last tour, he's like 19 or something like that. Or no, I think he's like 21 or something like that. And he got to talking with a girl at the show, and right before my set, the little break before my set, he was talking to her. He's like, oh, let me get us drinks. And he bought a drink for himself and her, but she was 20, I guess, or 19. And so they threw him out. He got thrown out.
Damn, no.
He had no idea. He's from France, like where, legal age like 17, 18. Yeah. So he didn't even think about it. He didn't think he was doing anything wrong. He was just like, making conversation with this girl, kind of maybe flirting a little bit, tried to do a kind gesture, got kicked out right before my show. He flew out to see me perform, and he didn't see any of my set. I'd say that's one of the wildest ones. Yeah.
Did you get to talk? You talked to him at the meet and greet?
I talked to him at the end. I told him what my favorite French words are, because I know a lot of weird French shit. I told him next time I give him a hug. I signed some stuff, took pictures. I try to impart him with some memories,
For sure.
Whenever I find out people, because that's happened a few times where people miss out on my set because of something. Either they break up with someone that they came with at the show right before my set. That's happened. Or, they get kicked out for whatever reason, or they get into a fight, whatever it is. I try to always make time for them after the show. And I don't want them to leave with like just the negative impression, the negative memories. I want there to be some sort of redemption arc that I can help curate a little bit. So, but those are the kind of moments I think of as like the more memorable ones, like the interpersonal.
For sure. I have a few of you were there for most of these, but when we were doing the Out of the Woods tour, I think we were in Portland and we did that one, and I was doing like Dream Eater or something, I'm wanting to say. And a girl jumped on stage and then tried to stage dive off. She was really drunk and she tried to stage dive and then just no one caught her and she just fell. And it was one of the funniest things. As soon as I realized she was okay, I then could laugh because it was like the funniest shit in the world.
Yeah,
like it was
funny.
like, especially like on that song of all songs, like why are we doing the stage dive on like this fucking slow ass, like emotional song, you know? Yeah, I remember seeing that. I remember seeing video footage of that as well, and being like,
that's awesome.
damn, that's insane. And then another one, which was on my most recent tour, and you were there. It was in Dallas. You were in the back for this, but it was the last show on my last tour, and the crowd was super turned up. It was a great fucking show. However, when I started, I did backwoods. I came out to backwoods, and then there was a dude. This dude, well, like, I did backflips onto the stage. No, I came out to backwoods, and then I'm going, and everyone's having a good time. Like, I didn't notice anything, and then Square stopped it. Like, he stopped the thing, and he was just like, "Hey, we got to stop this." I was like, "What's going on?" And there was a dude in the crowd who was like fucking moshing really hard and like hitting people. And we were like, yo, you got to fucking, either you got to calm down or you got to fucking go. And I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't see it at the time because I wasn't.
I think I was taking a shit or I was smoking outside for this period.
Yeah. And so like, and I stopped it and I was like, yo, dude, like I like made direct eye contact. He was right there in the front. I was like, yo, dude, like this isn't that kind of show. Like we're not doing that right now. You know, these people don't want that. So don't do that. And then he was just like, am I too turned up? And I was just like, if you want to call it that, like we're like literally having like a back and forth, you know, which already like if we're getting to the point of us having a back and forth, it's a like you're about to get thrown the fuck out. You know what I mean? And so then I do the song again and I use that kind of frustration to like turn up the song a little bit more. Like, I don't know if you've ever been there, but that's like a really fun thing for me is like when I'm like yelling and I feel like I'm yelling at that guy. You know, but I am getting a little bit like anxious because I'm like, oh, what is he going to start something else? And I look down and I hear like towards the end of the song, I hear there's like a woman, like a girl next to him. And I hear her go like, get the fuck off me, you know? And I look down and I see like he's just like doing that shit again. And I came over to him. I was just like, hey, bro, like what the fuck's going on? But then like, so I'm like, what's going on? And he just goes, hey, play Freebird. And I was just like, get the fuck out, bro. Like, we're not doing that shit, bro. We're not doing this, you know? And then he was like, oh, I'll leave myself, whatever. And then like, he was acting like he was going to leave and then he didn't. And then security came and took him. But that shit was crazy. Like he was just like in the crowd, just like hitting random people who were just standing there. Like it was like crowd killing, but like literally he was the only person doing it. You know what I mean? Like,
didn't you have another instance of violence at one of your shows earlier on in the tour?
Yeah, that one was like, crazy, bro.
Also throwing a person out.
Okay. This. I'm glad you reminded me. This is like easily the craziest shit that's happened at one of my shows, I think. So it was in Baltimore, and I did a show the night before somewhere in like Virginia, and the last person that was in line. It was a kid and he was there with his mom and they had to have been like, I don't know, like 19, 20, like that type beat. And they were in line the night before and they said like, hey, we're going to be at the show the next day. And I was like, cool. And I never like felt like it was weird or anything. Like they were nice, you know? So then the next day we did the show in Baltimore and basically how the set was set up was like the stage is here. And then like, there was a little like, walkway in the back where you could see out, but they couldn't really see you. So it was like, you know, that's where the side stage was at. And then like there was like a trap door that opens up that goes into the back, and you can go up some stairs, and there's the green room up there. So it's like a pretty long experience, you know? So I decided to kind of get my head in the game. I was going to go out during Melty Cannon's set and watch Melty. And so I come down out this trap door, and I'm looking around. I don't see anybody. There's curtains. So like if I were to poke my head out, I would be looking directly at the crowd. Like they could see me, you know, from the side. And like, I'm listening to Melty Cannon do his set, and all of a sudden I hear like screaming in the crowd, and I'm like, oh damn, he's killing it. Then I like listened, and it was like scary screaming, you know? And I was like, what the fuck's going on? And so like Allie was running merch at the time. And so I like kind of peeked my head out just to see, and I see she's out there like what the fuck's going on? She's looking around like kind of panicked, you know? And then I see dudes come from behind the trap door, like big dudes, bigger than me. You know what I mean? Like goons come out, and they're like, you know, and I'm like, what the fuck's happening? You know? Then I see another dude come out, another goon. I'm like, oh fuck, like seeing him coming out, but I don't see him coming back in, you know? Then I see the dude who was like the stage manager, and he comes down, and I was like, hey, everything good? And he was just like, no, and just keeps walking. And I'm like, did someone like bring a gun in? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's going on, you know? And I'm hearing like a kerfuffle going on. And then I see one of the big goon dudes comes back in, and he's holding his ear, and there's blood dripping down from his ear. And I was just like, what the fuck? And I was like, are you good? And he was just like, no. And just like walks on, you know? I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, don't anyone tell me anything? So then like, I'm texting Allie. I'm like, yo, like what's going on? And she's like, I don't fucking know, but somebody got punched. And then like, I'm hearing that like somebody said that like the person like threw a chair, and I'm like, what the fuck, you know? So basically the manager comes back, and I'm like, hey, could you tell me what happened? You know, he was like, okay, so basically a kid came in and had like a backwood and was just lit it up in the middle of the stage. Security was just like, hey, if you're going to do that shit outside, you know? And then he just goes, make me. And then just walks off with this blunt. Okay. And so security, that was when the dudes came out, because the dude, like one of the security guys followed him, and the dude grabbed a chair. They're like really big, heavy, like bar stool chairs, and was like acting like he was gonna like do something with it, but they're too heavy to like actually hit someone with. Yeah. You know? So then like security came in, and the dude just like clocked the security guy like right in the face. And then that's when the fucking everybody started coming out like this. And that was when people were screaming and shit, was when there was like a fight. So then like apparently he hit one of the security guys real hard in the ear. And so he was like bleeding from his ear. But yeah, they just kicked him out, and they just said that he was banned from the venue. They didn't call the cops or nothing. But it turns out it was that kid from the venue before, from Virginia. And his mom was there too. So she was the one that was doing most of the screaming. So crazy ass time. But luckily nobody was like really injured, you know, like one of the security guys got hit. But as far as I know,
Couple died.
Yeah. But they weren't injured though. It was natural causes.
It was a swift death.
Yeah. They it was a mercy killing. But no, that was easily the craziest shit that I've ever witnessed at a show. And the funny thing is too, not to linger on this too much, the guy, before a lot of like hardcore bands came in and to perform at that venue. And so the guy was like, hey, your crowd isn't really like, they don't mosh or anything, do they? And there's like a whole bunch of no moshing signs everywhere. You know, I was like, oh no, like my crowd, like they're pretty timid. They just like hang out, you know, might nod their heads, might jump around at the most. And then of course a fight breaks out during that show. Yeah. Great show though. Love Baltimore. Yeah. Also
for those listening, usually
are,
I'll speak for myself, you know, I don't have any, I've been lucky enough to not have any violent circumstances take place in any of my shows. It's usually just a place where people enjoy themselves, people get bucked, but it's respectful. There's a degree of self-awareness and also like just camaraderie that I think most people apply.
For sure.
In fact, it is so predictably so that I oftentimes am on psychedelics when I perform, because I like to really be one with the audience. I really like to tune into the mood of the room, I guess, and just like really meld with them. So what Bill describes is very much like out of the ordinary.
For sure. Yeah, like that's the only, those two, I don't know, maybe I was just too turned up on my tour, but those two experiences are the only like crazy experiences, other than people just being like fucked up and like jumping on stage or like trying to stage dive or whatever. But I think that's pretty normal,
Yeah, I agree. Well,
yeah,
that was really fun, Bill. Thank you so much for pretty much carrying this episode.
Yeah, I had to put the team on my back though.
You did. Especially after the last 2 episodes, I feel like I yapped my ass off. It's nice.
Yeah, no, I had to reclaim my yappery,
I enjoyed riding shotgun for sure. Well, I don't think we really have that much time this week for our weekly obscure hip hop facts, but we'll come back with that next week. Don't worry. Instead, in the meantime, Bill, why don't you tell people what we got going on over on our Patreon?
Oh, what's that? The Patreon, you say? Sorry, that sounded terrifying. Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know if you guys have heard the news, but we have added a new tier over on our Patreon. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Okay? For just 20 smackaroos, 20 doubloons, that's dollars for those who aren't seaworthy. For just $20. So we're actually doing a new segment for the Patreon only episodes, the bonus episodes, where we give you guys advice. You guys can actually talk to us in a Discord call, and there'll be you can ask us pretty much anything life advice worthy. I'm good at describing things. Rav, you want to help out?
These questions, Bill.
How can they ask these questions? That's right, in a Discord call on the new Void FM Discord that you can get on by being a member of our Patreon.
But I'm saying like they can call in when we do the segment, or if they're a bit shy, they can leave a voice message with their question, or type it out in the relevant channel for it. And we might not get around to it the same week they ask, but we do intend to get through most, if not all of them.
Yeah, for sure. Also, a nifty little thing that comes with the $20 tier is that you get your name at the beginning of the episode. Your username or your name or whatever you just give us will be played at the beginning of the episodes, much like you might have noticed at the beginning of this episode. That's something to think about. Basically, what I'm saying is voidfm.net, 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 voidfm.net.
And what do the base $5 tier people get?
Oh man, they get a whole bunch of things, but not including but not limited to a whole new bonus episode every week. You see this? What you're watching right now? This whole like hour plus? Boom, double it every week.
Last week it was 2 hours long almost.
Yeah, because we got freaky deaky with it, but that's not normal. But sometimes we get a little freaky deaky. Sometimes we get a little bit. We get a little bit Arnie with it, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but no, it's slapping. The Void FM Patreon is slapping. We have more members than we've ever had. It feels good. I'm excited for people to see it and give us the money.
Please. Well, Mitch, why don't you share something with us to take us out?
Lost? What am I saying?
Do you do you have a riddle or a fun fact or or just a stroke? Wait, why don't you just look up Canadian proverbs and just share one with us?
Good idea.
Yeah, I know, I'm full of those, bro. Come on now.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink Molson Canadian.
Bye.
See ya.
The following is a preview of this week's Patreon exclusive episode. Available now over on the Void FM podcast Patreon.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. We are here. Bill, what is happening?
It's time for life advice with Bill and Rav, and Mitch is here too.
Yeah, we're here. And what we're going to do is give y'all advice. You can seek advice. You can share stories, anecdotes, whatever it is. This is an opportunity for you as tier 2 subscribers on Patreon to connect with us.